our environmental GRT is allocated, 50% goes to solid waste, 25% goes to the treatment plant, and then 25% goes in addition for watershed projects that are recorded in the SGRT fund under a separate department outside of SGRT. There's two different departments. So I keep running totals on cash. So in addition to the service fees that the wastewater treatment plant has, they also have that GRT. However, in the past, as you know, the wastewater treatment plant fee was high, and a few years we had given back $17 on the rate. They were building up cash balances for some time, and then we gave a reduction. And then when the rate analysis came back in, it revealed that we were probably charging the correct rate at the higher rate. So the rate analysis put the rate back up. So over the years with the commingling of the high rate and the consumption and the GRT, the treatment plant has a pretty healthy budget. And I don't know what it is right now, but it's definitely probably over $10 million. And you can see that on the monthly report that's reported each month in the cash position spreadsheet that's included in the monthly report.
Thank you, Judy.
So currently on the revenues, there's about a 5% increase for the rate analysis. And the rate increase will take effect in August for the July consumption billings.
And where are we at, Isaac, on in the Mountain Gods?
Their revenue?
Remember we were looking at their analysis for them?
Mayor, I did look at the past analysis that we had done with the End of the Mountain Gods. It did look like it was accurate, but I will get with Christy when she gets back and look at the current up-to-date on that. But on the one that we had done, that we paid the company to do, they had been appropriately paying over the last several years, but I'll look at this year's numbers.
So, Levi, were they subject to the same rate increase our citizens were subject to?
Yes, sir.
They just had a different rate because of volume and whatever that was set on there for years ago. So it's been changed.
So, Mayor, my question is, has that rate gone up?
Yes, in incremental amounts, but we wanted to make sure that that base rate was correct.
Okay.
So they pay us for using
Monthly?
our,
Yes.
And they're
But-
just on sewage?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The Travel Center and the End of the Mountain Gods,
What, I thought Palmer
Yes, Palmer Loop.
Palmer Loop.
Loop.
Part of Palmer Loop.
Okay. Are they capped, they can't tap in anymore without our permission?
I don't know
I
that.
don't know the answer to that, sir.
Mayor Crawford, Counselor, at one point, we looked over that agreement with the tribe, and they were capped, yes, as far as is extending any more lines up, like towards Palmer Loop or anything else like that, because the bulk rate that we were charging and the amount of gallons that we were charging was just for that area.
So, and again, forgive my ignorance, we charge our citizens wastewater fees based upon water usage. How are we charging the Inn and the Travel Center?
We have meters, sir, that calculate the amount of flow that goes through them. We have had a few issues in the past with those because they're not good about the grease, right? It sets off the meter, but that's their responsibility to maintain. But we have a meter that is checked.
Okay. Isaac, how frequently are the meters checked?
I don't mess with the meters.
Terry's the one that actually checks those meters.
And then he gives us the JUB a report and sometimes when we have a bad report, it's foamed up or something's done bad that they have to get in there and clean them out. And then we regularly send somebody up to make sure that the processing plant, where they do the elk and all that stuff, that they are emptying their grease trap in the tea room that's over there. That one's done because we've gone in before where
yeah.
they haven't emptied them and they're just going over the top.
So, speaking of the joint use board, does the city of Ruidoso Downs pay the same rate as our citizens?
Oh, yes, they have theirs set up different. Ours is on a user payoff. Theirs they did on property tax. So they have a different system that they use for the Ruidoso Downs citizens. But ours was built when it was done way back when. We
Right.
chose not to put it on property tax,
Right.
and it was on a user fee.
Yeah.
Theirs was put on property tax.
So, and the split's 85-15? Is that ever revisited?
We have looked at that several times because we have lost population, full-time. But we still have the amount of hookups and whatever. Ruidoso Downs has grown. And so those are things that are being revisited, but we haven't come to a conclusion just yet. And that'll be something that will be, who do I just put on there? Dick? Brophy, I figured number.
Is Darren?
Thank you for that.
He's gonna give number one in the business a run for your money right here.
I think Isaac's got me beat there.
Darren.
Gallons per day.
And Darren,
Darren.
I think it's Darren, yeah.
No, are you on that?
Okay, I think it's Darren.
Darren was.
Darren,
No,
the joint use,
I think.
yeah, it's Darren,
It's me and Darren.
yeah, Darren. So that we're evaluating those things as we go through. We got ready to get started, then with all the flooding and the damage, it kind of went by the wayside. Like the I&I, we're doing all the I&I so we can try to get the return flow credit. And that's where we need to have it. We're going to have another discussion about other options coming up, so.
So Mescalero is metered, the Inland Mountain Gods, that in that area is metered.
Travel
So
center.
they are not a part of the JUB.
No,
Yeah.
it's just the village
And
and,
Downs.
and we tried, Westway before me, they tried to get them to be a partner so they could get access to
Mescalero.
funding, but they wouldn't.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we're ready to go?
Yes, sir.
So I just give my little spiel all the time. My name is Isaac Garcia. I'm the Department Director of the Wastewater Treatment Plant. We have a 32 million gallon facility that went online in 2011, so we are now 15 years old. So it is no longer a new plant, but it's aging a little bit. What we have been doing projects to keep it going, which is our bar screen on our entrance works. We have replaced our fine screens, which should last another, hopefully 11, 12 years or longer. We are doing our UV sterilization on our effluent. That's going in. That project is going on right now as we speak.
Cool.
And we do have a huge solar project that should be complete hopefully soon. And then my next project will be our future basins to add another 1 million gallons of treatment. That's going to be on my capital outlay that I'm going to discuss.
Isaac, is that pre-treatment, post-treatment?
Which one?
Your $1 million,
Million gallon.
million gallon? I'm
That
sorry.
is going to be my actual treatment that goes to the river.
Okay.
Anything that, and we'll be able to handle anything that, if the growth, future growth, but it's actually so that we can maintain our facility. We could take things down longer. Right now, as we speak, we're doing a filter clean. We take a basin down, take out all our filters, and we're having to not rush, but get it done in a week. So once we get this new basin online, we'll be able to have it down for several weeks or even a month to really get down in there and fix anything that needs to be fixed or just clear any lines that might be plugged, anything like that.
Almost like an alternate field, so to speak?
Yes, sir.
Like you can
Yeah,
do
we'll
an
be able
alternate.
to, we'll be able to keep on operating while we have one down. That's where we don't have that luxury right now as we speak.
What is your capacity for growth?
Well, we're a 2.7 million gallon facility right now, and we're treating about 1.3, 1.4, so we do have some capacity, but I don't like to push the filter so hard that they get plugged because we do have a very high hardness in this community, about 1,300 to 1,500. Our filters are designed to be 300 milligrams per liter of hardness. So if I push them too hard, they clog a little bit more, and then we have to go in and do our cleans a little bit more often. I do them twice a year. I do half of the facility in the spring and then the other half in the fall every year.
So, years ago, when I was on the council and we approved the building of the plant, I thought it was over 3 million.
No, sir, it's a 2.7.
It's always been 2.7?
Yes, sir. Before, the old plant was 2.3, and we got it up to 2.7 with this facility, but once we get the future basins online, it will be a 3.7 million gallon.
Okay.
And that might be what your understanding
Yeah.
was at that time.
Okay.
We have the infrastructure for the 3.7, but we're only equipped for a 2.7.
When did that, you say it went online?
2011, April.
Wow.
It's been a minute. Seems like it. But and just to finish off, we have to meet permit 365 days a year, 24/7. The plant never stops running, no matter what happens, floods, anything. I have been getting a little bit paranoid with the winds because we do lose power a little bit more often now with Otero being at the end of the line. And the plant does not like power outages. And therefore, we have to have somebody there. You know, we're on call. Like we were talking about overtime. I do have people that go in. I have a gentleman that go in at night for 2 hours every night to catch anything that we might not catch during the day because things can happen. And like I said, that plant runs all the time. And we do get called out for the big emergencies, but sometimes there's things that need to be addressed when we do go and check that plant at night.
What's your backup if the power's out?
We do have 3 generators. We have one for our entrance works, which is our influent pumps and all of our screenings. We do have another one for our main MVR process, and we do have one for a UV sterilization station.
And what's the capacity? How long can
They can
those
run on a full tank, I think they're 300 gallon, like a week long. And we would have to have it refilled.
Okay.
But we do have a diesel storage at the facility for our equipment, and just in case of an emergency, we get trapped or something there, we do have diesel to run the generators. God forbid that happens, but we do have that there in place.
And the new head works, the UV people, do we ever check into, are they gonna use the same crew? Or they have an additional crew for the,
Mayor, I've reached out to him, but I haven't gotten an answer on that necessarily, but I did send the PO over to him, and it has been submitted to CES for J29 to do that work, and we did express the interest, and then, having
that
them do
portion
that.
is insurance. Remember, we had the damage.
Yeah.
And so we've got the new unit in, and then we're gonna have the other one rebuilt, but
Mayor, the delay on the J29 for the UV system and the month, it was on Trojan, the supplier is who caused the issue. It was not J29. I did speak with Annie, and Trojan had not had a project manager on the, and there was also, one of the big things was that J29 had to submit a checklist of everything that had to be done, and until that checklist was completed, Trojan wouldn't even put them on their schedule, even though they had told them, hey, we're gonna be done, we need you here at this time so that this project can move forward. But we run into that a lot, it seems like with Ovivo and with these type of big, they don't care, really.
So, Isaac, back on the solar panels,
Yes, sir.
is that gonna help power the plant?
No,
or
it's
are we
gonna-
selling it?
We're gonna sell it back to the grid, and I think we should be able to get, about $180,000 a year shaved off of our $550,000 bill a year.
Well, this says 604.8
Of-
for Otero County Electric.
That's what we budget for, because, you never know, if we do have more tourists or anything, the plant will run a little bit harder, so we do add that in there just for any kind of fluctuations.
Okay.
I do have a couple of capital outlay things that I want to discuss really quick. So the first one, I need to get a Chevy Silverado. Is this one for me? I am requesting a truck. I've never requested a truck as long as I've been there. And I have my 2010 that I've been keeping alive, but I'm afraid that eventually it's gonna leave me stranded somewhere. I did have to take samples yesterday to Albuquerque because we did, our phosphorus was a little bit high. And normally when I have all month in order to meet compliance, so we made adjustments to the facility, resampled, and I took them to Albuquerque myself. That way they can get it done immediately because it's a 10-day turnaround and we're almost getting to the end of the month. If we're still a little bit out, I could still sample again and take some over there, and I gotta have a good truck, reliable to get me there and back. And like I said, I've had my 2010 and, worked great, but, I think it's time for a new one, so I did budget, asked, $52,000. It's a pretty standard four-wheel drive truck.
Didn't JUB approve that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Judy didn't cut it.
What's that?
Judy didn't cut it.
And then the next,
And I,
The JUB approved that.
and I believe we were gonna do a floor budget.
we're also gonna
Current
get
budget.
another truck on this budget, for a truck that can pull our vernier, which is a ditch witch,
right.
and our transfer pump, just in case we have any flooding issues, because right now we're having to use our dump truck to move these pieces of equipment, and in a pinch, if we have to move them quick, I'd rather have a small pickup, well, a pickup that's capable of pulling them to move them where we need it for any kind of emergencies.
Yep.
All I see is the half-ton, short bed. Where was the other one at?
That's on this year's budget.
Okay, that's what you
That's the
just
one,
said.
that the JUB approved.
Right, okay.
This is just for next year.
So it's on our capital outlay, the other one.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am. Are we doing capital outlay first, right? Yes, sir. Okay. Any questions on that? So the next one, I've waited, I'm gonna wait until most of our projects are done. I do need to repave our pad where we compost our sludge and all around the facility because it can be an EPA fine if you have any cracks in the road or anything like that. So I budgeted $500,000, but I'm optimistic that it'll be, or I'm hoping that it'll be cheaper than that. I'm still waiting for a quote from that company, and they just haven't gotten back to me. From Rhinemark, I think it is. I think that's their name.
Yes, sir.
But
I'll reach out to Bruce and follow up on it.
they were just kind of thinking if they're gonna have to remove everything and start fresh, or if they can just overlay. So they're in the process of doing that, but I did put in $500,000.
Is that equipment maintenance? Is that's only 500,000 I see.
It's in my,
Got here, right?
Page 120.
Has this too, right here. Repair asphalt around facility, 500,000.
Under
There it is.
repair asphalt
Oh,
around
right
facility.
there.
oh, building
Yeah.
and property,
Yeah,
52,107.
yeah.
Okay, and then my last one is so that we can start the engineering process of the new future basins, the two to add the 1,000,000 gallons of, capacity. And we went ahead and put in, 200,000 just for the engineering portion of it. Structure's already there, but, they do need to have some sort of plan to equip everything with all the piping, the blowers. I did travel to Los Lunas to see their new filters, which I am gonna push to get those new filters that, ours are a little bit older now, but this new style can handle a lot more capacity. So instead of 3.7, we might even be 4.2 million gallons.
Just quickly, what, layman's terms, what's the difference?
They are, so our filters are
The metal ones
they're
and,
tall, about as long as this table.
uh-huh.
And these other ones are gonna be blocks where they'll be a lot easier to clean and maintain.
Do they fit in the compartment and everything that
They'll
slides?
fit in our basins with no problem.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Are
so
they
they don't have to-
stainless or what are they?
Yeah, they're stainless and the filters are a little bit smaller and easier to work on. So to clean them, how we're having to pull everything out in big gigantic cassettes.
Yeah,
These will be
cassettes.
smaller and easier to work on.
Availability on those? Because I know before, we were worried about availability and we'd buy bulk.
You know, they are available.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, once we start that engineering, I will be in touch with, Brian Codian from Kubota and he'll give me all that information. But I
Okay.
liked it. They look pretty good
Okay,
in Los Lunas. Yes, sir?
How many cassettes do you have on hand right now?
Spares?
Spares?
I think we have 2 basins worth, or no, we have 1 basin's worth, so, 16 of them. Because we have been starting to decommission some of the old ones. The welds are starting to get a little iffy, and, when I pull them out, we inspect them, and we do just put them in our junk pile.
That was my question. That way, if you do go to this new system, we're not having to stock all this, we don't have the old ones sitting there also.
No, but we are gonna keep our old part of the facility running, which is 6 basins of them, and we're gonna have these 2 new, and they can run side by side, they just can't interchange. But,
So-
we're already heavily invested in our old system.
Right.
We have filters, we do have some cassettes, so I don't wanna just totally just get away from that. And they're tried and true, they've lasted this long, and we're making them last even longer.
Have we re-explored, Mayor, acquisition of adjacent property? I know we made a stab at it.
We've tried multiple times, but Williams have made it very clear they're not interested. They want to still run cattle and grow what they grow, feed out there. But we've tried, and Wardy and those guys, they wouldn't even respond the last time. The sister said, no way, no.
And Mayor
No,
Crawford,
that was Karen.
Counselor Corey, we had an appraisal done on that property and we wanted to, it was a fair offer and they wouldn't accept it, the offer, so.
And that's why we're running an MBR facility, so it's a smaller carbon footprint, it doesn't take up much space, that's the reason why we're running this type of facility. And to have over 1 million gallons of capacity is gonna be a pretty good thing to have for the future, to handle any kind of future growth or any kind of emergencies that might come up.
And Isaac, MR,
MBR, membrane bioreactors. So instead of the circular tanks that we used to have where everything settles out and clear water goes over, these are filters where the solids stick to one side and the clear water goes through tubes out to the river.
And when that water goes out to the river, what's the percentage of, what do I say, Mayor?
It's cleaner than river water is by far. It has no
near drinking.
bacteria, all that stuff's gone. Right now, you can sample up above, and it's gonna be all bacteria from
Sure.
fecal matter, everything
yeah.
else. That water is not what you'd call potable, but it's very clean. I mean,
Near
he
drinking
drinks it
water.
all the time, and it hadn't
Yeah, I drink
affected
it all
him
the
at
time,
all.
look at me,
Ponytail growing.
making my hair grow. You're right.
So it's good, and so contrary to what, what's her face said, Jackie Powell at the water conference meeting, or the watershed, that we're holding, and the county commissioner, that Mark Fisher doesn't even know what he's talking about, that we're still putting 1 million, 2 million, 4 million, 5 in the river every day, that we're treating and putting back in there. We haven't stopped any of that. So they're claiming that we're damming up, we got a big dam up here somewhere full of water.
I saw them looking,
Yeah,
yeah, they were looking at the plant the other day from the road, but there was several people, but I don't know what they're thinking but, that's not my effluent right there, and it's full of algae, because the river isn't running that. But from where I'm
Sure.
discharging, there's a good flow stream, nice and clean. So, and that's why we do our filter cleans, just to keep everything running, at a high quality. And that's just the way how I run it. I try to run it as good as I can,
Well,
24/7.
it's such a nice, clean facility.
Thank
And,
you.
I don't know, we had a person that said that it stinks.
Mm.
And I have never smelled that plant. So I don't know.
Could have been while we were maybe turning our piles, our compost piles, and,
Oh, it could be the compost.
but as soon as
huh?
after a day or two, that smell kind of dissipates. Being the guy that goes every day.
compost, are we gonna be able to send it
to the plant,
yeah.
to the green fuels plant. All the excess, and he didn't get to class 2 or class 1 sludge that he has to get to, that we were trying to give away to farmers. It's like fertilizer, and they've changed the regulations on that. The EPA is how much you can put on. And even, I think Williams were using some of that at one time, and they made them cut down.
Every other year.
Every other year you can put on, so we're ending up with all this excess that we're gonna have to haul to El Grande, where we're gonna turn that into, energy. Jet fuel.
Because that's a whole other cost. And the state's making it a little bit difficult for us to haul it to landfills, which I don't really understand, but the testing and requirements for it is a little bit ridiculous. You gotta start off with 50 tests a month, and at $200, 50 tests a month, kind of expensive.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know how little communities are doing it, but
They're not, they're
Yeah.
reaching, they're failing, and
holding on to it and, or doing illegal things, but we don't do anything
that's where
illegal out
the
there.
Water Trust Board this last year, we pushed at the municipal league to get wastewater treatment plants included. And so it's now been included, so funding can be done to help offset things like they get the plants in compliance, and so that they can afford to do other testing. But it's getting harder and harder,
Yes, sir.
so.
Counselor Brophy, where does the waste from because you're doing Santa cans, aren't you?
Yeah,
Where does that waste go?
so,
That's a whole nother issue.
Jigs up, he caught him.
yeah, no,
Is it on our system?
no, I wish I could dump in Ruidoso Downs. No, we have to truck it to,
Alamogordo,
Carrizozo,
Carrizozo.
and Alamogordo is where we have to truck our waste.
And we,
Is it buried or is it processed?
It's processed. Well, it depends. So there's obviously two types of waste that we collect. One is from septic tanks and the other one's from the porta cans. And so they both have to go to different facilities.
Now, would you be able to send it to the energy plant?
Gosh, I wish.
Well, his is
That would
wet.
be just fine.
It's gotta be dry.
yeah, it's gotta be dried out but see, with the septic systems, I know that we don't take RVs and things like that because of.
Concentrated waste.
And that's, the deal is some of those that dump into it, we have enough time for it to dilute before it gets to the plant. But on septic systems, it'd be the same thing. It would need to be far enough it could be diluted out. So it doesn't mess him up.
And it does mess us up. Yeah, especially with our nutrients, our nitrogen and our phosphorus. It's hard to treat that, to get it down to our low limits that we have to get down to.
When you get a bulk coming through and then you adjust and then it goes back to normal,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
I noticed we're covering all this right before lunch.
Yeah,
Working. Brophy eats a sandwich.
Yeah, true, Josh.
It didn't bother him at all.
I just don't eat during the day.
Some ramens.
Yeah, well, I'm good. God. No longer eat corn, I can tell you that.
Oh, looks the same.
It all looks the same.
All right, guys.
You asked the question.
So we'll just run through the line items really quick and I'll be done. So our subscription and dues, we budgeted $900 and that is for all of our 10 employees at $78
are
a
you
month.
fully staffed, Isaac?
We're about one down, but I'm looking at some options for that one position, but we are fully staffed.
Okay,
No, we do have lower levels, but as far as staffing goes, we are,
okay.
which they do a great job out there. Our postage, kept it at $25. Our uniform and laundry service, we budgeted $9,000. And just to let you guys know, it really does help us because you do not want to take sewage home to your family, or wash anything with other clothes. So we're really appreciative of the village for providing this service for us. So we kept it at $9,000 on our general office supplies for coffee maintenance, on our printers, toners and all that. $8,000, we kept it the same as last year. Our janitorial supplies, we left it at $5,000, that's for paper towels, brooms, gloves, other supplies, required by Parks and Recreation to come and clean our building. Our next one is our non-cap furniture and fixtures, we have $20,000, we have a new printer for office, and office chairs, so we left it as the same as last year, 20,000. Our utilities,
So you're buying a new printer?
I think we have one. We are paying a service though.
Oh, you have a lease on it?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
On our utilities, it's 585,000. How we were saying, it's usually a little bit less than that, but we went ahead and just kept it the same. That's also for Zia Gas and Otero Electric. Our fuel, we did go up from 10,000 to 11,000 because we're anticipating fuel to go up a little bit, but, so we just went up about $1,000 on that. Our shop tools for facility, I put in $10,000 every year, And, a lot of times things get dropped in a basin or they get damaged because they get, like our cleans, they get full of crap. I don't wanna say any other words, cause that's just how it is. It gets full of sludge, okay? And,
And white.
damaged, and we do replace them. Anything that gets, we do an inventory at the end of the cleans, and we do replace them, because they are needed. Our safety equipment, we don't skimp there. We have $15,000 last year. We kept it the same for work gloves, masks, raincoats, which they are using right now, and their work boots, which they definitely do need. They do leave them in there at the facility when they're done every day, and they change into their other, that way they don't track anything to their homes. Very appreciative of that. Our laboratory expenses, we kept it the same, $55,000. That's for our monthly monitoring, nitrogen, phosphorus. So if we were to try to do that on the sludge and try to get it hauled off, we'd have to put all kinds of more money in there. Our biomonitoring, which is, test the quality of our water that can support, water fleas and flathead minnows. And our fog, fats, oils, and greases, monitoring. Our chemicals, we did go down a little bit because, we haven't been using as much as like last year, 305,000, we went down to 295. That's for our aluminum sulfate for phosphorus remover, our polymer for our belt press and belt thickener to run to remove solids out of our system, sodium hypochlorite and acid for our, membrane,
Cleaning.
yes, sir. And our MP50, it's a coagulant that we can throw in case of emergencies. Our plant maintenance, we did go up. These are for high-ticket items like flight pumps, our Kubota cassettes and filters. So we went from 451,800 to 573,760. Like I say, everything's aging. I'm finding as all the years go by, a lot of times things run a year and then they go out next year. So sometimes things just get a little bit more expensive any given year.
Now, in your maintenance and whatnot, do you have stuff like the flat pumps? You know, I'm always concerned about those. We couldn't find them, get them. There was a period during COVID. So do you have anything like that setting?
Always, we have them.
2, 3?
We have everything on the shelf, just in
Okay.
case. I know we're running out of space, but like I said, we never can stop running, so we always have at least 1 to 2 different things for everything at the facility.
So that's built into that whole plant. Everything he's got in there, he tries to have a backup or two.
And we
How's
never
it
leave
go?
things down. We don't leave things broken.
Why haven't we spent any money year-to-date on plant maintenance?
What do you mean?
It's showing zero.
It's showing 0. I think that's not correct.
Yeah,
I know
because
you guys have done a lot
we
of
spend
maintenance.
it, we use it all
I
the
just don't
time.
think it's been put in correctly.
Our contingency fund, we don't use it unless we really, really have to, the 20,000, so we just went in and left that there. Okay, contractual services, nothing. Our legal services, we budgeted 20,000 last year, but we dropped it down $5,000 to 15,000. Just because I haven't seen the need for anything lately, and hopefully won't need to.
Who's the attorney for JUB?
It's,
It's supposed to be the county.
well, we have Module.
Module, Spurlick's doing it now, but we did have the county, they were providing, and then we were providing it back and forth, but we use Module since a big changes have been made, both ends.
So, both partners use the same attorney? You're getting along that well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any issues. They may have, I haven't seen but they've just gotten started down there. I forgot who their attorney is.
The Downs is using, Ann,
I've forgotten her.
Ann Winter, and she's provided through the league also.
Yeah.
Okay, our, engineering services, we moved to professional services. That's gonna be for the future basins. Our telephones, we basically, finance does that. Let's see, insurance and bonds. So the next one is travels and schools. We had 11,000. I went ahead and dropped it down to 11,000. Most of the time I send all of our lower level guys here to the end of the Mountain Gods for that training, that school. Once they get their level 3s, I go ahead and send them to Albuquerque and Las Cruces, but until I see that, I keep them here locally.
Isaac,
Yes, sir?
and I know that you're probably closer to retirement than we want to think about, but do you have somebody that's really on board with everything that you do, and do they need a lot of more training, or?
He, I basically send him to any training that I do. His name is David Denny. He's doing great.
You've seen him in here before.
Yeah, he
Probably
was
I
in here.
have.
It was the JUB.
Oh, was it JUB?
Yes, sir.
But I think I remember seeing
Yep.
him when I
He
visited.
has a few more years after I'm done in him, I think,
Okay.
to stay at the plant.
Right.
But,
Okay.
we'll see how that goes. But no, he's really great. Then I have two other gentlemen underneath him that are training really well. They're like my main troubleshooters to get things, keep the plant running.
Okay.
Cash Peso and Tommy McCarty, they're doing really well out there. And, they're gonna be the next in line after me and Dave, you know. So we got some good people coming up.
It's just that that's so critical for our area.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps me up at night, you know, thinking about that, but it'll be, we'll get it figured out. Or what I can do is, once I retire for a high dollar, I'll come back and I'll run it.
Hey, there it is.
Which that is gonna happen, but maybe I'll have a few days before that happens. No, we'll see how that goes.
No, we want you to run for council.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I can just go run the plant. Yeah, I live in the Downs.
It doesn't matter.
I'll go, yeah, JUB. The next one is our equipment lease. We do have, a skid steer and a loader out there that we do utilize all the time. 56,700, that is with the maintenance, program.
Is that a rental or is that a lease?
Lease.
Yeah, but it's under rental. Is that what?
It's equipment lease and then in parentheses rental, but we do lease both pieces of equipment.
Okay.
On 52100?
Yeah, I just see equipment rental. So that, but those are actually leases.
Yes, sir, they are definitely leases. Okay, the next one is our equipment maintenance agreement. This is actually for the copy machine. That's $375. Our
Mayor,
equipment
council,
maintenance,
I'm sorry, Isaac.
Oh,
Can I
yes,
ask
sir.
you a question? Do we have a specific company that we lease all of these pieces of equipment from?
yes, sir, through CAT.
Through Caterpillar
Yes, sir.
directly? Have we reached out to any other equipment leasing companies to see if there's better options out there? Yeah, we typically do that. We hunt around.
Counselor Brophy, we've, in the past, we've reached out to like John Deere and all those places, but they don't have the lease options that CAT has. It's kind of like a rental lease. And what they do is that they'll actually do the maintenance for us, keep up the maintenance on the
That's the
lease.
key.
And-
Oh, I agree.
And at the end of the lease, we have an option to actually purchase that at a minimal price. Or we can trade it in, they actually pay us, to start a new lease.
Cool. Thank you for that.
The next one is our equipment maintenance. We usually budget $450,000, but we did raise it $50,000, so it's $500,000. That is for maintenance on the facility, any kind of parts. Parts are expensive, any kind of valves.
Oh, yeah.
And we have tons of them out there.
What kind of valves are those?
They're wheel valve. I have that in my brain because I do it
Oh,
so,
yeah, you get milk out of that too.
I've done it so many
Turning
times.
them, there you go.
Annual inspections for our fire extinguishers, plumbing, pumps, mixers, and repairs, EPA required backup equipment. So like we were talking about things on the shelf, we do keep inventory on everything out there pretty much that we have to keep the facility running.
Well, yeah, 24/7 facility.
Yes,
Something
sir.
goes down, you can't afford to be a week without a part.
No, and like those fly pumps, it takes 6 months to get here if you order one.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months on a brand new one. And then to repair them, you're looking at about 3 months to repair them. I'm actually sending out 2 of them today.
So Isaac, those are built, the flight pumps are built, what's the country they're built at?
Sweden.
Yeah,
Dang.
Yeah, that's the only place, and we love them, and they do a great job, you know, and I've looked at other things, but these do stand up to the test, and they do run really well. To change them might make us have to change guide bars or things like that
Yeah.
that might cost too much money, as we're just to keep the same equipment and just keep it maintained and operational. Okay, the next one is our vehicle maintenance. We usually do all the maintenance ourselves on our on our trucks, so $5,000 is what we keep, what we budgeted for. Our building, property, and maintenance, we did put the $500,000, and that's for the asphalt on the facility after the solar is complete. I'm thinking that it's gonna be less than that, but you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is, equipment vehicle, so 52,000 for my truck that I'm asking for. The next one is projects and construction, $200,000, and that's for the future basins to be engineered through Sauter Miller. And, that's all I have that I'm dealing with. Any questions on anything?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
The bad debt expense of 1.6 million. Did you not pay the electric bill or what's,
Where's that at?
it's on the top of page 44.
Oh, we currently don't have anything budgeted.
That's the total.
Oh,
That's
that's
the,
right, that's
it-
the total, but, okay.
And
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I thought I was reading it wrong then. Okay,
Yeah, you were reading it wrong.
but
Bad debt expense, we
have
have
we ever
zero.
had bad debt is I guess what I'm getting at. I
No,
don't
because
ever
it's,
recall.
I mean, the village, we have, it's tied into our water bill.
Right,
And so if we have to write any of that off in bad debt, that would
that's where it would show up.
show up. But our basic customers, the End of the Mountain Gods pays theirs, so.
Okay.
But that's I don't know the answer to that one. If we do have bad debt, do you know, Adam, that on the water bill, and we write that off because it's water, trash, all the stuff that's in it, is that, you got that, Judy?
Mayor Crawford, so that is something that we need to revisit because there's nothing in our ordinances that says, what the criteria would be to write off an account. A lot of times, even though you write them off, you still try to collect. You have a provision within the ordinance that says if you write off an account on a customer and they come back and request service at a new location, they still have to pay off their old bad debt.
Correct.
But currently, there's nothing in our ordinance, so we will have to draft that up. I'm gonna have Christie look at other municipalities to see what their procedures are currently, and then hopefully within a couple of months, we'll come back to council with a policy that can be adopted into ordinance.
Yeah, I don't know how we pass that back to the JUB, it'd be our own problem, but I think, because I know when we bought a house, there was a bad water bill on it that had, how it ever got there, and got through the process, we had to pay it before we could close.
And I think a lot of the bad debt, like from a water bill or something like that, we'll put a lien on the property, so
Well-
we'll never actually have that debt. We always have something to fall back on.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have.
thank you.
Isaac, thank you so much. Great facility.
Good job,
Appreciate
Isaac.
it.
Thank you.
Yep.
You guys
Keep
have a
being
great-
number one in that number two business, bro.
We try really hard out there, and that's our life, and that's the way it has to be.
Yep.
You guys have a good day.
You too, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
He's a great guy.
We're doing our filter cleans. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the street department. That's gonna be on page 48. This one is gonna be one of the subsidies that's funded by the general fund. They do get a small amount from the gas tax, but the rest of it will come.
All right. Mayor, council, we starting with all our grants and stuff, or we're
So
gonna start?
start with any of your capital outlay requests. So you're gonna go into your paving machines, skid steers, fuel well. On page 50. Yeah, so go over those first and then go over any changes.
Okay, first with our capital, this is what I was talking with you about earlier, Mayor, with our paving machine. That we're looking into, that we'll be bringing to council Monday. We are working with Eugene right now, to get everything to take to council, for the special council meeting on Monday.
So will that be coming out of current year or?
I do believe they're trying to bring it out of this year's
Mayor
budget.
Crawford, Councilor Corey, it's going to be a lease agreement that we'll be bringing, and we're going to pay the first part of it out of the current year, and then every lease payment will be on the next fiscal year, so.
So is this a new paving machine?
Yes, ma'am.
And are we gonna get rid of ours?
No, ma'am.
No.
We'll get it running because it's always hot and it's always vibrating and it's always working. So they're always going to break.
So, yeah, with this being leased, if it's approved through council on Monday, our other paving machine is at Caterpillar right now. They're going through it, getting everything going. When we get that one back, we will keep both of them. That way, if anything happens to one or the other, then we can keep
The
them.
grace of Rudo Sedans, they've been loaning us theirs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Josh, do we own our old?
The Weiler?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what brand is this one? Caterpillar?
The brand that we are leasing is Caterpillar. The Weiler is through Caterpillar also. It's a Caterpillar Weiler, paving machine, our older paving machine. So that's the reason, that it is down at Caterpillar getting fixed right now is because it is a subsidiary of Caterpillar.
And that one it's only like 5 years old, right?
No, that's 2015.
Oh, wow, I thought we got it.
I thought it was 2010, but I'll take your word for it.
Time flies.
And the way they are used, 10 years on that, it's ran as hard as, it's idled completely up, and it's ran hard for the entire time it's used.
Yeah.
It's never idled down, engines at full throttle the whole time, and,
Okay.
and then the next one after that is we're looking at leasing a skid steer loader as well. Or not loader, skid steer, with attachments on it. And one of the things that we did get that we are getting with the skid steer is gonna be, actually a little milling machine that goes on the front of it. So that when we have these areas, bad potholes, these areas that are sunk out, we can actually mill that out ourselves and come back and we can patch and do everything
better repair.
correctly, do better repairs on it, yes.
Yeah.
Currently is not approved in this budget though.
Right, this would be,
Priority wise, the paving machine was approved with the general fund and then the fuel truck was approved with this budget. The fuel truck, if you wanna speak on that, Josh, what we currently have.
The 3/4 ton Duramax utility full fuel truck.
yes, sir, that is, was put into can't think right now. I'm on the scene, everybody's staring at me.
Hot seat, dude.
But, it was put into the tactical plan and everything else. Currently, we are using a 1996, Chevy 2500 utility truck for our fuel truck. And we definitely need to update this. We had some stuff that had come up and with the EPA, insurance, OSHA, they were telling us that, we really need to look into getting this, so, that's the reason I put that
And
in.
that comes with the tank, or are you going to add the
But more,
bad tank?
we'll have to put the tank in
And the
itself.
tank's
We'll
good?
get the utility truck and then we'll buy a certified tank.
And where's that going to be budgeted? Because aren't those like 25?
That's currently in 5300.
It's in there somewhere?
It is.
Yes.
I just don't see it.
Equipment and vehicle
The tank.
Equipment and vehicle, what's the number, 5 what?
53001.
And that's the
It
truck.
just says
But the
Duramax.
tank itself, yes, the tank itself is, they're generally not that expensive. That's something that we'd be able
They're
to
not
pull
that
out.
expensive?
Yes, sir. We'd be able to pull that out of our street department budget so that we can get the tank that we want right there to put
Okay,
into it.
because you just have the truck
The
without
truck
the
and the
fuel tank.
utility bed, yes, sir.
There's the capital outlay. It's a 530.
Josh, you have a 30-year-old fuel truck?
Did you find that in?
Yes.
It's up here.
I've got it in my deal, I just need to
Yeah,
find it.
it's up
Okay.
in the front.
But the fuel
Okay.
truck's been approved.
The fuel truck
That
was approved in this
was
budget,
current.
by finance, this current budget of what we're presenting.
Okay.
The next item was the hot plant, was the other capital that was approved in
Right.
this budget. You want to talk about that, Josh?
So, hold on, before we go any further, you said the skid steer is not approved in this budget?
Not approved in this budget.
So,
So, on the capital outlay schedule, we have the list of each of the capital outlay requests made by the department. Regarding the paving machine, the skid steer, and the steel wheel roller, they were approved with a modification. Rather than us going to buy them, we're gonna be doing the lease agreement. So rather than seeing it under the equipment vehicles,
Gotcha.
we've moved it under equipment rental. So it was approved with the modification.
under lease and not
Yes.
purchase, gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
What is the steel wheel roller queue?
Packard.
That is our roller for the asphalt so that we
You
can
know, you see
compact,
those big,
Yes.
that's what
so
it
that
is.
we can compact the asphalt.
Is that, or did we keep that in the budget?
It's, you're gonna lease it, I think,
We're
aren't you?
good.
Oh, you're gonna lease it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then our other one is the hot plant control room.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get to put that in this winter because we really didn't have a winter and we were making asphalt quite a bit this winter. So, it is sitting on site right next to the hot plant right now. We're just waiting to appoint, when we can shut down the asphalt plant, but we do have our projects going
I
on
think you're
right
out of
now.
luck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
You just need
Just
an
gonna have to
umbrella.
do it, yeah.
How long would that take to convert it? I mean, how long would you be down?
Probably 2-3 weeks.
Oh,
See, that's what I'm saying, he's out of luck. We're out of time, temperature's good. So it's the box, we've already got the building, and this is the
building's
installation.
there, we have
electrical.
the box there, so what we'll have to do is we'll have to cut the power, gas and everything to the hot plant. We're gonna have to remove the existing building that is there, and then replace it with the building that we have sitting there. I do have the control panels and everything for the building that are sitting inside our shop right now, and we'll have to get all the panels put in, rewire everything, and get everything hooked back up.
And this will have to be brought up to code, new code too, correct, Josh, for the electrical?
Yes. And we do have, with Jimmy, he is our, for say, electrical engineer with AAA, the company. That's all he does do is work on hot plants. So he'll be the one that is wiring it in.
I'd like to see that plant someday. I've never been out there.
It's not Italy, but it's cute.
So I don't need souvenir money.
No,
I don't know, you may.
so I don't know how you're gonna get that done, because I know you guys tackled Flume Canyon and you had all the issues, and so now you're in the
Yes,
height
sir.
of your season.
What I'm planning, hopefully, is we're gonna have to see it's gonna be this fall after
Afterwards.
everything this fall. Like I said, with everything this winter, we didn't have a real hard winter. So we continued to run and try and catch up on stuff through the winter.
yeah.
Did we get fully reimbursed from Kinetic on the cuts?
They came in, they hired a contractor.
And did it themselves.
Oh, they did it. Oh, our crews didn't.
Mark Marquez ended up doing the patches, the Rincom. I think it's
Yeah, it's-
Recon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, on top of that as well, we're still working. I did turn in, Lisa and I did turn in to Ron, a list of everything that got fried at our,
Y'all know about this.
No.
The P and M hooked, it wasn't our fault.
it wasn't our fault.
We're ordering it all, we're going ahead and getting it done.
What? Oh, gosh.
P&M, when it was one of their contractors put in new transformers and a power pole up at our plant. When they hooked the power pole up, they switched the legs and, fried all of our computers, our heater, our new heating, cooling system that we just put in, all of our fuel system, so.
Oh,
Our doors, our printers, garage doors, Are they so. reimbursing this?
Well,
Mayor Crawford, members of council, we're working on the claim and talk about trying to get a hold of somebody, and I've been blowing up Kevin.
yeah.
He's trying to get me numbers because they gave me one number and it was a call center, and it's crazy.
We ran into them yesterday.
he's just a liaison type guy.
How much damage was it?
What's the,
How much? But we're going ahead and moving forward to get everything done.
yes, and then we'll get the reimbursements, but one of the main thing is their diesel tank has a computer and all the detection, leak detection equipment, all that was fried.
Oh, my gosh.
Mayor, council, Ron, is this something that we would want to, I guess, provide some legal documentation to them and be like, hey, guys?
We're getting to that. We're gonna go ahead and turn it into our insurance, and we'll let our
Okay.
insurance company sue them.
Okay.
About them.
Okay.
P&M is difficult,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
but we're moving forward, and so we'll turn in a claim if we're not getting reimbursed, and they can go after them.
Okay.
Very lucky that our guys were still there, the supervisor
Yeah.
there, and the guys, they smelled the,
Oh, my gosh.
They were paving and they came in late, and when they opened the door, they could smell it, and the boxes were just
Oh,
smoking.
my gosh.
So if nobody would have been there, it's a good possibility we would have lost
Burned
the whole
And they've
building.
admitted fault.
Yes.
Because we talked to them pretty
At
quick. They
Titan,
went
and
out.
that was Titan, P&M's.
Yeah,
Contract.
subcontractor, yeah, that runs around
They
town.
got pictures of it and everything real quick.
Yeah.
Bro, what a
That's what
screw up.
happens with contractors.
Well, they should have known better. I don't know what happened.
Friday at 5, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
What's the name of that company again?
Titan?
Titan, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, we're dealing with a few things over there. Had to get my math skills back out, so when we dip the tank, it's okay, 84 inches is so much.
Did you get Lisa a new computer?
I don't know.
Andrew went and ordered all that stuff.
We're still waiting on all of that. The computers are working, but you'll be doing stuff and they lock up, they freeze. I called Andrew the other day because I couldn't get something on my computer over there, and I wasn't even saying my computer was online to him. So he couldn't, I had to FaceTime him and he had to walk me through everything because he couldn't get into my computer.
Didn't he order all that stuff yesterday before he left?
Mentioned something about ordering those computers.
Yeah, he's gone for 2 weeks to Japan.
I'll get with Robin and we'll
Okay.
make sure it was.
So how's Lisa working without a computer? They still work somewhat. They're moody. So, we'll put it that.
Moody.
They'll be good. I mean, do you need to borrow?
I have a laptop
Okay.
if I have to pull it out, but like I said, it's glitchy every now and then. Sometimes I have to fight with it to get it on. Sometimes the battery backup acts up, because it kind of fried that.
My gosh.
My biggest deal sometimes is when it's getting cold here lately, because I don't have a heater. I don't have a heater and I don't have air conditioning, so I pretty much stay in my jacket all day.
I feel your pain. Gum.
Okay, on the revenue side, we are not providing any supplement to the street department.
Mayor Crawford, Council Corey, you know, they receive a gas tax, but the majority of the revenue is a subsidy from the general fund.
So when our citizens are complaining about the streets, we're not supplementing Josh at all from the general fund.
We are
Yeah, we are.
supplementing. Judy?
Where is that, Madison? I don't.
So, Counselor Corey and, Mayor, because the streets doesn't generate enough funds, should be a transfer in. It's, account number 216-000-60101, and it should be on the same page as your revenues, closer to the bottom. We subsidize them over $2 million, I believe, in this
2.3.
budget.
Yep,
Thank you.
2.3.
Thank you. I've got egg on my face, but thank you.
No, you're fine.
One of the other things that did propose, and I know time has got cut, was personnel. Times are tough right now. We did ask for personnel, but that's something that we can look at later on.
Is that for new?
For new personnel, yes, ma'am.
Are you fully staffed?
Two or three? Three people.
It was because I stole them for another department, so that is why.
What a guy, huh?
Right?
Nice.
We have,
30-year-old fuel trucks, blown up electrical panels, and you're stealing his guys? Golly.
that is, as of right now, I am acting as both as the street department manager and over here. So we're shy the street department manager and two, operators.
We promoted one to a foreman as a meter foreman, and then the other one was just transferred over to the water distribution as well.
Okay.
So they haven't been posted very long to give somebody an opportunity to put in for those positions. I think we will fill those positions.
So I'm beating a dead horse, but again, the overtime, I just don't understand.
So on, at the end of the personnel line, the classification 500 personnel total, what Ms. Judy was referring to earlier, is on those total lines. So, for example, the 2024 to 2025 total budget, the total budget was at 1.3, and then the year-to-date activity was also at 1.3. There was about 3,000 left over. That's where the match comes from, because we didn't have full staff at that time, even though we budgeted only 25,000 under overtime.
Okay.
The difference is what balanced
So
out.
it'll balance
Yes.
out.
Exactly.
Most likely, our overtime's gonna be higher than budget, but our salaries are gonna be lower than budget.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that total line right there is really what we're looking at to see
Okay.
if we're over budget, and
Thank
they
you.
haven't gone over budget.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Counselor Corey, Josh, so, I mean, again, I've kind of asked every department so far, where's the majority of your overtime come from, man?
Majority of our overtime, I mean, during the summer, we're paving, winter, we're plowing.
Yeah, because if
No,
it's 4 AM and there's snow, you guys are out there. If
Right,
it's- If there's a water line break or a sewer line break and it's on a main roadway, you guys are there typically right
There
after.
is times we do assist them, you know, if they need dump truck or if they do, a lot of times the street department completely out with the water department.
Right.
If they do call and ask for assistance, or if they need help, dump truck drivers or whatever,
Cutting holes in the road,
we will get them help.
And you assist with disasters?
And then disaster, flooding,
so anytime
fires.
we have roadways that are blocked with flood debris, you guys are the ones out there scraping and removing all that
They're
debris.
pre-staged.
Yeah, we're-
Pre-stage, ready to
When
go.
when the EOC starts calling them in, Eric, he'll get his guys pre-staged.
Is that why we're seeing quite a bit of that higher overtime dollar? Is because it's,
Yeah.
I mean, not an all
What-
call, but technically it is, right? Like when we know that there's stuff
In the
coming.
past, yeah, in the past, and then when we would have that, we've been trying to get reimbursement from FEMA.
Yes.
And this year, it's gonna be more difficult.
Department also works 4/10s and an 8 most of the summer when we're paving,
Right.
Okay.
so that's.
Do Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5:30, and then Fridays we do 7 to 3:30.
Oh, nice.
And you give you guys breaks though, right? Like, obviously they're not working.
Not at all.
75 there. No, you guys are just straight grinding through, huh?
Yeah, they got
No
nap
lunch.
time.
Their
Like
break
like the
is when they're waiting
kindergartners, they
between
bring their
trucks
little
for
pads
asphalt.
to work.
I like it, I like it.
But he can check his boots, they're still like brand new.
Oh, not anymore, not anymore.
He's had those boots ever since he got promoted, still got the rubber titties on the top.
And going through, coming down, we'll start, yeah.
Just go through the changes that you have.
85. I did ask for 2 trucks, but that's been put on the back burner for right now. Our general supplies, we dropped from 25,000 to 15,000. And our non-capital dropped from 14,500 to 10,000. Utilities, that's done through finance. Our fuel dropped 5,000.
Why would you drop the fuel 5,000 when the fuel was so,
Actually, it went up from last year.
oh, 75?
I mean, your year-to-date
Well, 80,
activity,
it was-
well, I guess 85 to 80, your year-to-date 74.7.
Okay.
But how many trucks do you have? I forget. With floorboards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With floorboards? One. No.
One.
All of my floorboards now.
All of them have floorboards now, so, we've got,
Plywood doesn't count.
got 3 flatbeds, 2 F-350 flatbeds, 1 Chevy 3500 flatbed, 1 crew cab, the new crew cab that we just got, then that's 2,500, F-250, that's king cab, another 30, we probably have 7 or 8 trucks.
So that old 1 ton or whatever that big thing was, 1.5 tons,
That was the water department's.
that was in the, I forget, yeah, that was the water department.
That was Ron's favorite
And then
truck.
we do have the mechanics truck.
Yeah,
that we just got
just the
as well.
one.
Just the one mechanics truck. That's 4,500, so it's
Big truck.
big truck.
Yeah.
If
Didn't you just get a new dump truck? No, last year?
Last year we did, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Just making, I'm just looking, because that is a lot.
Right.
The fuel tank, that's where we purchased the money, purchased the fuel for the underground tank.
Out of the fuel?
Yes, sir. Lisa.
So,
Come on,
did
Lisa,
you use
come
the
on
fuel
down.
plant out at, where are you getting the majority of your fuel?
From the majority of our fuel, it comes from our fuel tank.
Your fuel plant, and then-
Itself, yes. And that's, the dump trucks, our motor graders, loaders, dozer, backhoes.
And so we put that fuel system in, and it's on a key, remind me how to do this. Does it still have cameras and the key card on it, or how's that working?
No, sir, it's a regular pump outside. We keep track of it. We have fuel log sheets that you have to fill out whenever you get fuel. Inside, we have an on-off switch inside, so when you go to fuel up, turn it on inside. You take the fuel log outside with you, and then we track the gallons used off of the fuel log and match it with what we have left in the tank.
And then the rest of your trucks, you use at Bell, or?
Yes.
Because we'd looked at
And
putting a
there
fuel
is
farm
times
out one
we do.
time.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting,
Yeah,
is that we decided against it.
yeah.
Okay.
And Mayor and Council, we also, with the brand-new dump truck, we're having to fill that one up at Conoco
Yes.
instead of using our, because what we have
That
in
one and
our,
the distributor truck,
And the
we do have
yes.
to fill up at the Conoco, because.
we use red dye diesel in our underground.
But, it won't run them either. It's, if you run dyed diesel through them, they.
Shuts them down, yeah.
It shuts
They're
them
all
down.
digital now, yeah.
So, we've heard from a number of department heads about the fuel card and Bell Gas and Conoco.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Bell.
Bell.
How often is that priced out? And it's probably not fair, Josh, because Ron isn't here, but I mean, do we bid that out, or?
Yes, that, it is bidded out, yes, sir.
Okay, and not to jump ahead, your street materials, are those petroleum-based?
No, the asphalt is petroleum-based, part of it is petroleum-based. Our asphalt oil is petroleum-based, our tack oil is petroleum-based, our, AEP, our prime oil, is petroleum-based. The materials that we use, are 3/8, our 1/2 inch, 3/4, our crusher fines, those are all, that's all rock, so.
Okay, because, and just
So
an
it's a
overall
mixture.
statement, I'm concerned across the village with what we budgeted for fuel. I think it's a little optimistic, given where we're at. And then Josh, I'm confused on street materials, because historically, last year, we budgeted 208,000. Year-to-date, you've spent 39,000.
That's incorrect.
So currently, on the year-to-date activity, it doesn't account for our encumbrances, which are open purchase orders. So,
Okay.
we do have the rest of the monies encumbered. It just hasn't been invoiced yet, which is why it
Okay.
doesn't show.
Okay, and then I'm confused with what we're doing as far as the budget adjustments. We're going from 300,000, we're cutting it by 50%. And again, it's the cost of fuel, the state of our streets.
Yeah, are we gonna have enough money to match your grants and stuff with that, Josh?
No.
Josh, you're being very stoic.
It's just his personality. Just spit it out.
No, that's something, that hopefully within, after the 6 months or so, we can look into and up that. I did ask for 300,000, I just didn't receive it, being on general fund.
Well, I, for one, think you need to get every penny of what you're requesting, because the state of our streets are terrible.
Well, and that's the comments I
and-
get all the time from,
Yeah. And
we've gone
with due
through it.
respect, between the fried computers and getting the age of your equipment, it's almost like you guys are the stepchild and.
That's not true. They've got new trucks.
Well, when I was here, when I first
They
got
didn't have
on,
a
it
floorboard.
was like
Yes, sir.
Flintstone.
Yeah, he didn't have the floorboard. No, they've got a lot of new equipment.
Come a long ways, yes, sir.
We built them new building over there. We put in,
We didn't get a new building.
you got that one that's sitting out. You hadn't got put on your,
Yes, sir, the
your
asphalt.
asphalt plant yet. That's no fault of anybody.
Right.
That's been paid for.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I feel sorry for you, but I ain't gonna jump out there and say we haven't been doing it, because we've been doing
Right, no,
it.
and I'm not
Starting to sound
saying
like
that,
fire
I mean,
department.
No,
and
but
we
I-
have equipment wise and truck wise, yes.
But
we
picking
have.
up on what Counselor Letterman's saying, besides the flood map, the most calls I get are about streets, and we're looking at, your budget's been slashed by 50% on materials, and that concerns me.
Yes, sir.
And we can reevaluate it.
So what you have to do is take that out of the savings and supply that part of the budget, because everything
No,
else is.
Mayor and Counselor Corey, if you want to put it back, you'll have to cut another department within the general fund the same amount in order to put it back, because they're recurring expenditures. So you'll have to cut from one department to give him money.
Okay, remind us of that this afternoon and tomorrow.
Because what's going to happen in the quarter, after a quarter review, they'll see what this department's done, this department, and then can move money.
But you understand the point.
Sure, absolutely. But we were here before, when I first got started, we had to cut everything. The only thing we didn't cut is employees, and we did that through attrition. And so a lot of this is speculative on GRT. And so we think it's going to be way down, and so that's why they've budgeted it.
We have not budgeted anything from the IP USA.
No, it won't be online, and, we'll, after they get production, then we'll get some funding, but it won't be reflective on this budget, this year's, but eventually.
I'm rooting for you, Josh.
I guess, and I don't have the 3-year history. I don't think he's ever used all of his budget or spent all of his budget, so there could be savings at the end of the year. So we still might be within parameters, even though we did cut his budget.
But like, this isn't his MAP funding, this isn't TPF funding, this isn't any of that. That's
No.
coming from other grants
I understand.
that'll pay for that. He's gonna be so busy just trying to get those things done. That's what I'm concerned about, it makes sure his plant holds up.
Right, and that's, we won't talk about it, no. Right now, we are doing good.
Yep.
It's just that there's so much need. I mean, we have, 300 miles of paved road? And there's a lot of need out there for.
Every town has it. They're gonna be paving all summer long, and we've got Cutler gonna be paving, and we have, what's that other company?
It's an application, we submitted an application for
Okay.
But we do
TPF.
bits and pieces of different roads, and I get it, I understand the projects, I'm not complaining or anything, it's just that,
What's your
Just-
alternative? That's what,
I know,
Right,
Mayor,
I mean,
it's
that's-
just that, that's where the frustration is, well, you're doing that, why can't you come up, look at
Wait.
my road? And I get it, I understand the frustration on both parts.
Yes, ma'am, and I understand where you're coming from, but a lot of what we get as well too is with what you're talking about, well, you paved theirs, why didn't you pave ours? I mean, we do have to go through it.
So,
It's
the TPF funds
process,
and,
so
go ahead.
so since, Counselor Hooker's not here, Josh, tell us why we can't use that money on different roads when you apply for it.
why we can't use the money on
So-
different
so
roads. So when we apply for these projects, we put in for certain roads, certain areas,
and they give us the money for that area, and that money has to be used for what we applied for.
And the reason you're picking those roads is like the MAP funding has to be tied to 48,
Yeah,
a major.
I was just fixing to say
And then your
that.
TPF
Yeah,
funds
I get
are
it.
very similar, and you can only do those every 10 years.
Wow, and that,
And that cuts
right.
down
So-
on a lot of those, and the rest of the time, he's out there doing patches. And then that's that, when he was talking about the attachment on the front end
The
of a
skid
skid
steer
steer.
and the milling
They
machine.
can come out there and do the small milling and starting to patch it. And there's things of that, and then are a lot of streets that are way up at places that have never been paved, that were supposed to have been paved years ago, I mean, when they were put in. So those are things we're constantly fighting against.
And Mayor and Council, on their co-op and MAP funds, it's 75-25. Their match is in-kind work that they're doing. That's what they applied for the in-kind on that, so. And they're not huge grants by no means, and doing a lot of it self-performing. They're, of course, with the weather and the flooding, but, we're trying to reach out to seek other grant fundings, and there's not a lot for streets.
Well, and you come back from Texas, and you can tell immediately when you hit New Mexico.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. It's the
On the
whole
line.
Department
banned.
of Transportation struggling with all their with all their highways. They're in bad shape, and they've been neglected for years.
well, and Ron, I think that underscores my concern that we're not allocating enough budget. And I understand whatever we give this department, we're taking from another department. But I think we need to give more credit to the street department, again, given the state of our streets.
I think, and I know this isn't gonna sound right, but, when we are allocating 300,000 to Xterra, 100,000.
Totally different money,
I get it.
different pot, can't be used.
Mayor and Council, the other option we can do is a general obligation bond like we do for water and dedicated to
We get the
streets.
public to say, that's what I'm gonna do.
And that way we could have that revenue source here and be able to get,
Well, I think we need to consider that.
Yeah.
And if the voters turn it down,
Then there you go.
then.
I think that's a good idea, because
We
Yes.
tried, and
we're getting a lot of push on that, and then indoor rec center.
Oh.
And to date, the public doesn't pay for any of that. It's all grants, it's all those things. And then when you put back on them, you're gonna have to pay it and add it to your tax. Then I hear about your insurance for your home.
right.
We hear about the price of this, price of that, and then it's gone, but we want it fixed anyway.
But they
So-
also, all those people that feel like that when FEMA comes in and says, yes, we're gonna do projected project here, 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 or when some big official comes and says, we're gonna give
Shut up then. Pick up there.
11 million, or, they don't realize that we still don't have all of that money, that we are taking money out of our general fund to do the things that we're already doing, and hopefully we're gonna get some money back.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that we're really starting to work with the newspaper on putting
Yeah,
together
that's a good one.
comprehensive, and we've talked about it forever, how these things work and they're obligated. We're still waiting on funding. We've talked about it on the radio show all the time. The other publications that we put out about SB, or House Bill 1, and then it went to SB 31, how we've been able to draw down, and that's borrowed money for 55 million, but we're trying to put it in a form, and it's gonna be multi-articles to be able to try to get a touch on it. But yeah, I mean, if people don't understand, and the more we try to explain, sometimes it's so confusing, they can't believe that that's reality.
But Ron, back to your comment, I think we should look into that.
In Mayor and Council, going back to the last 2 years, a lot of our residential roads where we had dump trucks and heavy equipment, they've torn them up.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. And FEMA they will not pay that, like, as Levi stated, they'll pay if it was damaged during the fires and floods, they'll pay a portion, so you might get 200 feet of a roadway, and the rest of it stays the same way, but doing a general obligation bond would only benefit us in trying to get additional funding.
Well, and again, if the public
Yes.
voted it down,
Well,
That's right.
one thing we need to make sure, we still have a lot of mitigation work to do, or it'd be worthless.
Yeah,
And
that is
that's-
true.
And it's just like what's getting ready to happen, it's all timing right up here on Innsbrook, with them getting it done, and then when you starting over there, you started?
We have started on Innsbrook. We do have, what was it,
Mets?
Met's done. We have Riley Cove done. We have gone in and blade patched those areas. Right now, we are actually over on our MAP project behind the new Allsups. That
Yeah, you said you were gonna
subdivision.
do that one, then you were really gonna get on this.
And then we'll come back. We're trying to give them time to finish up here. That way we can get all of that done. We finished that one up, and if they're still working over here, we do have a couple of roads in there that we can work on and get paved and get that done. And areas over there that we can work on. That way, when they're completely out of there, it's just very little that we have left to
And then
do.
what we're hoping with a lot of these projects, once the government gets back opened and we get the buyout and a lot of this is cleaned out and the waterways are more secure, we've done the difference with the culverts or whatever, then we could pave. And so we're still a year off, but it would take us that long to put together the bond, start the conversation, the narrative on why, and then we need to
Well,
figure out how much.
yeah, but Ron, if we could start that process, and Mayor, if you'll hand me a ladder, I'll climb off my soapbox.
And Mayor, Council, I mean,
Yeah.
to put it into perspective, I can, with 150,000, I can order 2 loads of oil, restockpile my crusher fines, my 3/8 and my 1/2 inch, and that'll be
Spent.
spent. Yes, sir.
You know, another thing, I think along with that general obligation bond is, you know, a lot of these projects, or most of these projects, Josh is self-performing. So when his.
Well, you have to have help.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Could, through the GO bond, you could.
Yeah, we got to figure out who's going to do it, but it's going to have to be, are we going to do a total GO bond where we go out for tens of millions to do it, just do a continuous deal? Or is it every year on an annual like we do on the water project?
Okay,
And you may get one and lose the other.
understood. Thank you.
So it's a real thing. So I mean, it is time that we do put some of these things to the public so they get an understanding. Because honestly, you're right, people don't understand. Yes, ma'am?
Ron, is there any way that we could, in addition to not only streets, tie a sewer component so that we can match all these water trust boards? Because right now, if we pledge a GRT within the general fund, we're taking away from revenues from the general fund. So would that be an option to tack on that restriction to another GO bond cycling program?
We can have that conversation with Chris Muirhead, our bond attorney, on that. And with George Williford.
And so what would that do? I'm sorry. It would
With
just be a,
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Lutterman, with the Water Trust Board, they now allow the sewer, wastewater, and we don't have we have SGRT and we have the general obligation bonds for water infrastructure. We don't have a component for sewer. So we're going to have to find a funding source to be able to pay for our match on the Water Trust Board.
yeah.
So we do have $2.5 million for sewer extensions, a capital outlay we're going to be receiving, so that's one portion. And then we had a direct spending, the congressional direct spending of $1 million I've been working on with finalizing that, and that was for the Pine Cliff, dedicated to the Pine Cliffs sewer project. So we're working on other different funding sources to help with our match.
And that's the one that we had to fill out the paperwork on the, what is it called?
We had to put on our website, it's a civil rights.
Civil rights.
Through the EPA, it's EPA funding, you had to have a documentation showing that we support the civil rights, and there's a lot of different things on that, so it's all
Make sure we
posted
have
now.
to comply with
We
the
have to have that in order to move forward on the funding cycle, so.
On that, we move on to drainage and structure. We requested from 25,000 to 30,000. That's for our culverts, that we used throughout the village.
Where's that at? Street,
The
Oh, drain, there
very
it is.
bottom of, yeah.
is the supply on those any better? Yeah, I know you were having to order them and then they'd make them. And then,
There is a couple of places, and it depends on what we want to do with them. There is a place up in Albuquerque, I can't remember. Contact up in Albuquerque does make them. We have been ordering ours from, Cardaway, yeah. Down in Alamogordo, the couple of differences between them, contact when you order, it's a 24-foot culvert. Cardaway is a 20-foot culvert, but we have been getting most of all of our stuff as local as we can from Cardaway. We try to get with them and get it in advance, that way if they do have to order it or order the stuff that, we have plenty of time to do it. A lot of this a lot of that will go through, a lot of our flooding areas where we've been getting hit hard. We've been putting new culverts in, up by George P. White, George McCarty, them places that are getting hit hard there.
And with that, I think it is George McCarty, where the White Mountain and it's a condo, right there. The culvert is showing there now on that road where the water is rushing so much, the culvert is showing.
On George McCarty?
Is that George McCarty or, okay. Where the houses, where the trailer got.
Twisted,
It's
yeah.
just right there. Of course, the
And
road,
that's
the
something,
pavement's
we've
gone.
covered, we've put asphalt back in there, we've covered
I
it, but
know.
every time it comes down through there, it just hits it again, and,
I take that road every once in a while, and that culvert is showing now.
okay. That's something that we can look at.
Okay.
anything else for Josh?
Our equipment maintenance, we upped to 100,000. That's one that, we were in there and we had to add money to. With the fires and flooding, it is hard on our equipment and stuff, so we had to bump that up to 100,000. Vehicle maintenance, we bumped up to 20,000. Building and property, we dropped to 15,000. And do believe that's it.
Great job with what you've got, Josh.
And thank everybody, the council as well. You know, like I said, the last 4 or 5 years, the street department has come a long way in moving up with vehicles and equipment, and, I mean, it's very much appreciated.
You know, the only thing now, Josh, is, you know, you guys are always complaining about brakes on these trucks. When you didn't have the floorboards, you didn't complain about brakes.
All right?
But then it was boots.
Yeah. I mean, brakes, boots, what's the difference?
Rubber's rubber.
You look like the Flintstones.
All right, is that it?
Yes,
Okay,
sir,
thank
I do
you. The lunch is here, but before we go on lunch, emergency manager, the VEOC will move to level 3 increased readiness for red flag today at 10 a.m. It went into effect to 8 p.m. tonight. The VEOC, he just added another, instead of emergency operations center, he just added a V. Will be staffed for the duration of the red flag. We are seeing relative humidity of 7 to 10%. Winds are at 35 miles per hour gusts. The ERC is 75. That's the energy rating. 75% increase. So that means with all the wind, it's drying everything out.
Yep.
Growing concern will be for Sunday forecast and they'll be sending out a weather briefing tomorrow as the forecast comes in. So all this wind and other thing is just going to get more intense.
So the wind is supposed to blow until Sunday?
Oh,
Tuesday?
Tuesday,
Doesn't let up tomorrow.
yeah, a little.
Start again.
Okay.
And then the red flag, and so we're in the process of trying to get a bunch of red flags to put them in the business area
Yes.
to make it so obvious that people will pay attention. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a break for lunch. All those that are here are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Levi,
you.
great job. Lisa, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what we have for lunch. They said it's a surprise.